Hello guys, welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be solving some questions, uh, practice questions from the Enhanced ACT series. ACT is changing, and in this year, 2025, 2026, it is now called Enhanced ACT. The difference between the Enhanced ACT and the legacy one is that the question bank is not shorter. You have 45 questions instead of 60 questions, I believe. And instead of 60 seconds, you now have 67 seconds per question. They've removed science as being mandatory, so now it's actually optional. I know a lot of people will be getting ready to study for the ACT or the Enhanced ACT. So I decided to make a video that will solve some of the questions that the ACT is giving out as a test question or kind of like a preparatory question. So I'm going to do the first question that I have that says Cameron took 4 tests and his scores were as follows: 100, 60, 80, and 30. So Cameron, his name is Cameron, he took 4 tests and the scores are 100, 60, 80, and 30. I'm going to put these questions on the screen once I start my formatting or my editing. Cameron took another test that was scored X. So he took another one and he scored it as X. The mean score of the 5 tests he took is 72. Mean score is 72, right? And the question is, what is the value of X? What is the value of X? So they gave us option. Option A is 54. Option B is 67.5. Option C is 68.4. And option D is 90. You will notice that instead of the regular 5 options, A, B, C, D, E, in the Enhanced ACT, you now have 4 options, A, B, C, and D. There's no longer 5 options. So here's the question. Cameron took 4 tests. He got score 100, 60, 80, and 30. And then he took another test. We don't know what the score is. We say it's X. But if you add every score together and divide by D and get a mean, the mean is 72. So they're asking to find X. So what is mean? Question is, what is mean? Mean is average of a set of number, right? So average of a set of numbers. So for example, if you have numbers A, B, C, and D, the mean of this number is A plus B plus C plus D divided by the number that you have, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be the mean. So in this, our question, we can do the same thing. We have 100, 60, 80, 30, and X. Those are the different values that we have. So mean is equal to 100 plus 60 plus 80 plus 30 plus X over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. And they said the mean is 72. So let's put 72 right here. So now all we got to do is add these numbers together. So we have 100 plus 60 is 160. 160 plus 80 is 240. 240 plus 30 is 270. So we have 270 plus X divided by 5, right? So there's still 5 right there. And everything here is equal to 72. right? So now all we have to do is group the same number together. Yes, there are many ways you can do that, but I like to do the easy way that will teach everybody. So what we're trying to do is remove this 5 so that we have a linear equation. So the way you can remove the 5 is to do what? Say, for example, you have 270 plus x over 5 is equal to 72, right? So to remove this 5, put a bracket right here, say 5 times this, and then do the same thing for the other side, right? So if you do the same thing for the other side, this 5 is going to cancel this 5 out. So you have 1. Then you're going to have 270 plus x, and now you have 72 times 5, right? So 270 plus x is equal to 5 times 2 is 10, so you have 0. 5 times 7 is 35, right? So you have, is it 35? Yeah, 35. 35, you have 360, right? So you now have to solve for x, move this 270 to the other side. Don't forget that this 270 is positive because there is no negative here. So whenever you move a number across the equation, the sign or the operation is going to change. So now you have x is equal to 360 minus 270. So 360 minus 270 should give us 90. So our answer is 90. So is there 90 here? Option D. Our answer is 90. All right. So that's question 1. Let's go to question 2. So question 2. Question 2. Question 2 says, in the Venn diagram below, circles S, C, and P represent farms raising sheep, cows, and pigs, respectively. How many of the 47 farms represented in the diagram do not raise cows? So in the diagram, they gave us 3 circles. This is 1. Give us another one here. It's 2. Give us a third one. 3. So here you have 13. Here you have 1. This is C, this is cows. This is sheep. And this is pigs. You have 10 here. You have 12. You have 2. And you have 5. And the options we have is F is 15. G is 17. H is 18. And J is 19. So the question is, how many of the 47 farms represented in the diagram do not raise cows? So they must not raise cows, right? So that's very simple. Anything that cuts into this circle includes cow, right? So everything, this is cows right here. C is for cow, S is for sheep, and P is for pigs. So you can see that in this circle right here, this one is outside, does not intersect with this circle, so we have 12. So we have 12. We also have 2. We have 2 outside, and we have 5. 5 is also outside. So if you had these 3 numbers together, you have 12 plus 2 plus 5. So the answer is 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. So our answer is 19. So this is our answer. Now, if the question was, they can also ask this question in a different way. How many raise cows? How many raise cows? Then your answer is going to be 13 and 1 because 13 is in the cow sector and 1 is also included in the cow sector, right? And they also have 10 also in the cow sector. So if the question was, how many of these farms raise cow? your answer would have been 13, 1, and 10. And when you add these three together, you should have 13 plus 1 plus 10, and that will give you 24, right? So that will be for those that raise cows. But since they're only asking for those that raise that do not raise cows, it's going to be 12, 2, and 5. If the question was how many farms raised, because they can ask this question many ways. They can ask you from this Venn diagram alone, how many farms raise both cow and sheep only? Both cow and sheep only. In that case, your answer is going to be 13 because 13 is in the sector of sheep and cow, right? And they ask you how many farms raise cow, sheep, and pig at the same time, is going to be 13 and 1. So these questions can come about in various ways. But for the particular question here, our answer is 19 because this is not inclusive of cow, 2 is not inclusive of cow, and 5 is also not inclusive of cow. Question 3. So question 3 says, Marco designs a spinner wheel that has exactly 4 sections. So we have 4 sections: red, blue, green, and yellow. I'm going to use red, blue, green, and yellow. He wants the spinner wheel to have a 25% chance of landing on each section. So let's say this is the section right here, and 25% chance to land on any section, right? It spins the wheel 500 times. The result of the spins are shown in this table. So in the table, they gave us the result, and I'm going to write, they gave us red, blue, green, and yellow. They gave us 80 for this one. They gave us 165 for blue, 130 for green, 125 for yellow. So this table right here, it says number of times the spinner land on each section. Number of times the spinner landed, right? And then spinner wheel section. So let me call this X. So X is spinner wheel section. So the question is, based on the results in the table, one of the following changes will be the best fit. Which one? Number 1, they said it should decrease the area of the red section by increasing the area of the blue section. It should decrease the area of the red section. If you decrease the area of the red section, then you're not going to hit what you want to hit because remember we have 500 spins, right? 25% of that should bring us down to about 125. So you want something you want this number to go up, not come down. This one is too high up, so you want it to come down just a little bit. This one right here is around the ballpark. So option A is not a good answer. Option B, it should increase the area of the red section, increase red, which is yes, increase red, and decrease the area of the blue section, so decrease blue. That makes sense. So option B looks like it makes sense. Let's keep going. Option C says it should increase the area of the red, increase red, okay? Increase red, and says that by decreasing the area of any of the other 3, by decreasing B, G, and Y, yellow. That does not make any sense because these two already are okay where they are. So we don't want to mess with these. They're quite okay, right? Don't forget we have, if you add everything together, number of small times 500, you want it to be 25% chance, which is you want them to be evenly spaced, right? So 500 times 25%, 5 times 25 is 125. So you want all of them to be at least 125, right? To be around 125. So this one is already there. This one is close to 125, right? So we can say it's almost there. This is too way high up. So this is too high. This is too low. So bringing this up and reducing this makes sense. So this one does not make sense. So option C cannot be the answer, right? Option D says it should decrease the area of the blue section, which is this. D says decrease blue, right? And then it does not matter which section area is increased. So that does not make any sense. So the only true answer here is option B. Increase red and decrease blue. That is the answer for this question. Let's go to question 4. Question 4. So question 4 says, in triangle ABC, so in triangle ABC, angle A and angle C are congruent. Okay? And the measure of angle B is 143.6. The measure of angle B is 143.6 degrees. What is the measure of angle A? What is the measure of angle A? And it gave us option F is 18.2. Option G is 36.4. Option H is 71.8. And option J, 143.6. So let's draw the triangle real quick. A rough sketch. Call this A, call this B, call this C. They said angle A and C, which is this angle, I'm going to call it X, and this one's called Y. They are congruent. So if they are congruent, which means they are the same, they have the same value, which means that X is equal to Y, since they are congruent. So when you see the word congruent, it means that they have the same value, right? And I said B is what? 143.6. So now let's solve for what X or Y is going to be, right? We know that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, right? So, which means that if you sum everything here, you should have 180 degrees. So let's sum these three angles together. So you have 143.6 plus X plus Y is equal to 180 degrees, right? Remember, we said that the X and Y are congruent, which means they are the same. So anywhere I see X, I can substitute Y or vice versa. So 143.6 degrees plus X degree, I can put, instead of Y, I can put X in there also, since they're the same thing. It's equal to 180. So now we have 143.6 plus x is 2x. It's equal to 180, right? So let's continue right here. So now we have a normal equation. Since this one does not have any x, this one does not have any x, I'm going to move this right here to the other side. Remember, this is a plus, so when I move it, it's going to change to negative. So now you have 2x is equal to 180 minus 143.6. So 2x is equal to, this should give me 36.4. So that's 36.4. So I'm looking for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Divide this side by 2. Divide here by 2. 2 cancel 2. Should give me x. And 2 in 36.4 should give me 18.2. 18.2. So that means that angle A is 18.2 degrees. So that, I think the answer here is F, right here, 18.2. So that's the answer. So if you add all this together, you should get your 180. That's question 4. Let's go to question 5. Question 5 says, which of the following expression is equivalent to x squared minus x minus 30? So you have x squared minus x minus 30. And you have option A is x plus 3, x minus 10. Option B is x plus 6, x minus 5. Option C is x minus 6, x plus 5. And option D is x minus 15, x minus 15. This question is very simple. So what you're looking for what, take this number right here and this one. So that's what you're looking for. Find the two numbers that if you, let me clean this off. In an exam situation, you want to know how to quickly solve this question using the least amount of time. So find the two numbers that when multiplied gives minus 30 and when added gives minus 1. Minus 1 right here, right? So I got 5 and 6. If I times 5 and 6, I should get 30. But if I had 5 and 6, 5 plus 6, I'm going to get 11. So I can't use that number, right? But if I say minus 5 plus 6, I should get 1. That's still not the answer. That's why these two right here can be very confusing, right? But if I say 5 plus minus 6, then I should get 5 minus 6 should give me minus 1. So the two that I'm looking for is 5 and minus 6. So the two factors I'm looking for to the equation. I'm going to come back to this later on when we solve almighty formula. That's how you know how to solve this. It's very easy. So we're looking for minus 6 and 5. And that's what you have, minus 6 and 5. So right here you have your answer is bracket x minus 6, bracket x plus 5. And if you want to check to see if your answer is correct, all you have to do is expand that fraction, right? Let's do it real quick. Let's expand the fraction. So let's expand this fraction right here. X minus 6, x plus 5. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. X times minus 6 is minus 6x. And 5 times minus 6 is minus 30. So you have x squared. 5x minus 6x is minus x minus 30. And that's how they got this equation right here. So your answer is number C, x minus 6, x plus 5. Let's do question 6. Question 6, you're given a matrix. Which of the following matrices is equal to 5? They give us 5. The matrix is minus 4, 2, 0, minus 5. They give us option F. Option F is minus 20, minus 15. Minus 20, minus 15. Option G is minus 10 and 25. Option H give us 1, 7, 5, 0. And option J give us minus 20, 10, 0, minus 25. So when it comes to matrix, you have to multiply what is outside with each of the numbers on the inside. So to solve this question, all you have to do, 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 0 is 0. And 5 times minus 5 is minus 25. So your answer is J. That's a simple way to solve a matrix. Let's go to question 7. Question 7. Question 7. Levon purchased some tickets and snack vouchers for an upcoming event and gave them to the members of our work group. Each member of our work group received the same number of tickets. So that's a core statement. Each member received the same number of tickets. And the same number of snack vouchers. And the same number of snack vouchers. Okay. The total number of tickets she gave to our group was 30. So I'm going to put T for tickets. Total number is 30. And the total number of snack vouchers was 75. So Vouchers, 75. Which of the following could be the number of members in Levon's work group? So they give us option A is 10, option B is 15, option C is 25, and option D is 30. So I'm going to read the question again. Levon purchased some tickets and snack vouchers for our upcoming event and gave them to the members of our work group. Each member of our work group received the same number of tickets and the same number of snack vouchers. The total number of tickets she gave to our group was 30, and the total number of snack vouchers was 75. Which of the following could be the number of members in Levon's work group? This looks like a highest common factor, since you have two numbers, right? And everything is equal. So what are the factors of 30? Factors of 30 is 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, 30. And the factors of 75, which is common, 1, 3, 5, 15, 25, 75. So the number that is common to both the ticket people and the voucher is 15. 15 is common to both of them. So that means that your answer is going to be 15, because that is the common number of ticket, 15. So that means that you have the number of people in this group is 15. Question number 8. Question number 8. The initial speed in miles per hour of a certain car that skids to a stop can be estimated by multiplying the length of the skid in feet by 35, and then taking the square root of the product. All right, so the speed, they say that the way to get the speed is by multiplying the length times 35, and then taking the square root of that number. That will give you the speed. That's how you find it. According to this method, what is the estimated initial speed in miles per hour of the car when it makes a 108-foot skid? So this right here is in miles per hour. That's the initial statement. The speed, they said the speed in miles per hour can be found by multiplying the length in foot times 35. So they're saying that when the length is 108, when the skid mark is 108, what is the speed? When L is equal to 108, what is the speed? They give us option F is square root of 43. Next option is square root of 7105. 7105. Next one is H, which is 6105. And then you have J is 210 square root of 3. So let's solve this question real quick. So the speed formula is L times 35 square root. That's what they gave us in miles per hour. So they say when L is equal to 108, what is the speed? So all we have to do is put L in here. So speed will be equal to square root of 108 times 35. So now we have to simplify this number. So 108 is the same thing as 9 times 12, right? So that's square root of 9 times square root of 12. And 35 is 5 times 7. So square root of 5 times square root of 7. Square root of 9 is 3 times square root of 12. Let's break this down further. 12 is same thing as square root of 4 times square root of 3. And you have times square root of 5 times square root of 7. 4 can be broken down again. The square root of 4 is 2. So you have 3 times 2 times square root of 3 times square root of 5 times square root of 7. Right? So 3 times 2 is 6. Square root of 3 cannot go any further. 5 cannot go any further. And 7 can't go any further. So you now have square root of 3 times 5 times 7. So 6 square root of 5 times 7 is 35. 35 times 3 should give us 105, I believe. So our answer is 6 square root of 105, which is H. So answer is H. 6 square root of 105. So remember, when you're giving this is like a SURD question, SURD. This is a SURD question, which means that you have to know the square root of how you can do square roots. When you have a multiplication square, you can actually split it together. Now, if this was plus, you cannot split it the way I split it like this. You cannot do the same thing. But because this is multiplication, you can split this number like so. So that's question 8. Let's go to question 9. Question 9 says if 6y is equal to 5x minus 1, then x is equal to what? And our first option, option A, is 6 over 5y minus 1. Option B, 6 over 5y plus 1. Option C, 6y minus 1 over 5. And option D, 6y plus 1 over 5. So let's solve this question. If 6y is equal to 5x minus 1, what is x? That's what they're asking us. We're looking for x alone. So to do that, we're looking for x alone. We need to isolate x alone. So let's bring this number across the equal sign. Remember, anytime you move a number across the equal sign, the sign will also change. So this becomes 6y plus 1 is equal to 5x. So since we're trying to find x alone, we have to divide both sides by 5. So both sides divided by 5. So 5 divided by 5 here gives us 1. And this one stays. So our answer, therefore, x is equal to 6y plus 1 all over 5. If you had chosen this answer, you would have been wrong. If you choose this, you'll be wrong because the 5 cuts across both the 6y and the plus 1, which is what this is. So the answer is option D. So let's do question 10. Question 10. And these are the kind of questions you will expect from the new enhanced ACT. Um, they will ask you questions on fractions, LCM, HCM, and things like that. So this question says a boat is traveling at a speed of 30 miles per hour. So the speed is 30 miles per hour. What is the boat's speed in feet per second? What is the speed in feet per second? And they say, note, 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet. Option F is 20. Option G is 30. H is 44. And then J is 176. So this is a conversion question. Speed, 30 miles per hour. And we're trying to go from miles per hour to feet per second. So let's turn the miles into feet. They said 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet, right? So 30 miles will be how many feet? That's what we're looking for. So let's quickly solve that. So let's convert 30 miles to feet. So to do that, write your 30 miles per hour. Sorry. Right? 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet. 1 mile, whenever I see this line is per, so 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet. Since we're looking for feet in this case, we're trying to remove mile from the equation. Let me do the other way so it's easier. Let's do 5280 feet is 1 mile. So times 30 miles. It's equal to X feet, right? So do this, divide this by this one right here. You have that. So that tells you 5280 feet times 30. So your answer, if you multiply that, gives you 0, 0, 4. You have 2. 3 times 2 is 6. You have 8. 3 times 5 is 15. 158,400. So therefore, 30 miles is equal to 158,400 foot. So that's the first one. Second one is to convert hours, 1 hour to seconds. So to do that, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? And 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. So if 60 seconds is 1 minute, how many seconds is 60 minutes. So the same thing, looking for seconds. So you have 60 seconds is 1 minute, right? Times 60 minutes. So the minute will cancel out the minute. You have 60 times 60. So that gives you 360 seconds, which means that 60 minutes is 3600 seconds. So we have the two equations that we need. So now let's convert 30 miles per hour to feet per second, right? So instead of writing 30 miles, it's the same thing as this right here. Write 158,400. Instead of writing 1 hour, we're going to write 3,600 seconds. So now you're left with 1584 by 36. So let's divide these. You have I'm gonna start with 6. 2 into 36 is 18. 2 in 15 is 7. 2 in 18 is 9. And 2. That's 792 over 18. 2 here will give us 9. 2 in 7 is 3. And 1 in 19, you have 9, 1. And then 391 over 9. You have, let's say 3 can go in here. 3 and 9 is 3. Into the 9, you have 3 and 3, 1, 1, 3. That's my calculator. So that is 158,400 divided by 3600, 44. 44. So that is 44. So the answer is 44 feet per second. That's your answer. 44 feet per second. So that's question 10. My next video, I'll continue from question 11 and do to question 20. And then I will finish up the first 60 questions we have here, the first 45 questions. And then we'll go to level 2, mathematics. I will continue. If you like this video, please like it, share with your friends, tell people about it so they can learn, so everybody can be prepared for the exam that they are studying for. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.